All right, here we are in video number 4. This is the fat loss guidelines that I'll be laying out in this video. And this is going to be very straightforward. But what this is not about, this video is not about telling you what to eat, what not to eat. This guideline is prepared to promote your self-healing capabilities and having a healthier relationship with food. All right. So I'm just going to jump right into it. To me, health is more about eliminating toxins and reducing stress, reducing negative stress, rather than adding on more healthy stuff to do in a toxic and stressful environment. If your lifestyle is negative, or is draining you, that's the focus. Instead of you trying to eat more salad, you trying to get more organic foods to put into your system. Because the environment and the stressors are going to sabotage, they're going to continue to sabotage you. No matter how much you try to live this healthy lifestyle, reducing the stressors is going to make this journey so much more manageable, so much more doable and sustainable. And to me, when it comes to stress, there are three main types. First is the physical stress. This meaning if you are literally working too much physically, like physical manual labor, that's going to exhaust your body. You ever had the feeling when you just feel so physically drained after like when you go on a trip or traveling, and you are looking at all these cool places, monuments, museums, you're on your feet all day, moving around all day, and you get back to the hotel and you're just done. You're just done. Like you just want to lie in bed and you know um, just eat whatever. Your brain just shuts off for the remainder of the day. That's what happens when you exert too much physical stress on yourself. So, and this also goes the other way. Like if you spend 12, 14 hours just sitting, living a sedentary lifestyle, sitting in front of the computer, looking at the screen all day, that's a form of stress too. Your body needs movement. You need to move. You need to be active. But too much of it is also going to sabotage you. It's also going to be overtly stressful. The second type of stress is the mental and emotional stress. That's actually the biggest source of stress for many of you when you think of stress, usually involving interpersonal conflict, right? Whether it be at work, dealing with your manager, your boss, or your coworkers, or dealing with your family members back home. That's the main source of the mental and emotional stress, or it's a stress within yourself, the stress that you put on yourself. If you are going through some financial struggles, or a desire to really break out of this rut, and you're placing stress on yourself to take action to do better. These are all mental and emotional stress that your body has to deal with. And the problem with this type of stress is that you seek reward for this stress. You seek to alleviate this stress by eating. And this can easily be a just destructive cycle that is going to hinder your healthy weight mastery. And the third and final stress that we deal with in this modern world is chemical stress. And this is something I extensively covered in my second video. The chemicals are holding you back. The chemicals around you, the chemicals that you put inside your body, these are all forms of chemical stressors that interfere with your metabolism and ultimately promote fat accumulation in your body. So this is why I say to eliminate any negative stressors before you begin to add complicated, diet plans um, and regimens for you for exercise and all that. Um, we need to have a clear plan to mitigate and manage stress. That's the first thing, because stress is the root cause for many illness, including weight gain, obesity. I used to think that it's the calories. It's all about the calories. It's about eating less calories than you burn. It's about eating healthy. But there are people that actually eat healthy. They know about the organic food sources. They know about all these chemicals that are in our modern day food products, and they avoid as much as possible. And they also work out. They're like workout junkies. They are active. They go to the gym very regularly, but they're still dealing with excess body fat. And when I hop on consultation with these people, I know that I figure out that like they're living a really really stressful life. Um, they're going through really tough mental emotional stress within the family, and eating and food cravings is actually a side effect of that stress that they have been put under, and so they're just going through this constant negative feedback loop. And so mitigating stress is going to be the number one principle for your healthy weight mastery. Um, and the second principle that I want to go over is to encourage your body to be in a state of lipolysis as long as possible. And the simplest way to do that is by fasting. Every time you eat something, your body will your body secretes insulin, and high levels of insulin, as we looked at in the first video, is what limits or inhibits lipolysis. So you want your body to be in a state where the insulin is at a normal level. And of course, whenever you eat, it's going to elevate a little bit, but the plan is to limit the elevation of this hormone as much as possible, and that means eating less frequently. This is the key. By keeping your insulin at a regulated level, you will be beating the insulin resistance, and fasting is one of the best ways to do that. And it's very simple. Anybody, because I don't know how your daily schedule looks like, but we can easily structure it. Instead of having you eat like 4 or 5 small meals throughout the day, that might not be practical for some of you, especially those of you who work a professional job, and you're living a busy lifestyle. Eating less by fasting, just eating a couple meals a day spread throughout the day, would be more reasonable. And I made a comprehensive video on fasting, which I'm about to show you right now. So when I talk about fasting, it's just a state of existence where you are not eating food. You are thriving without it. And it's actually easier than you think. You don't need to be fasting for days and days on end. No, there are subtle ways that you can introduce fasting gradually as you transition to a healthier lifestyle. So, in order for you to internalize the fasting mindset, you have to understand that our ancestors didn't have access to abundant amount of high calorie foods like we do today, in the forms of bacon cheeseburger with fries, greasy Chinese takeouts, fried foods. I mean, our ancestors had none of that. And not only the type of food that they ate was different, but also they didn't have access to food, or I should say, they didn't have easy access to food and the convenient eating experience that we are accustomed to. Think about it. Once upon a time, people actually worked hard to make food and to make sure there was food on the table every single day. The sheer fact that it's so convenient for most of us to grab food, and just the fact that we have this concept of grocery store in today's world makes it so much easy. It's literally effortless to grab food and to not be fasting. Think about it. Back then, most of the time, people were fasting. Our ancestors did not have the type of access and also the type of food that we have access to in this present day. And the way that our polluted society is functioning, our health is nowhere near the level that our ancestors had when they were living according to the natural order. If you truly understand fasting, then you realize it is not a fancy, special thing that healthy people do. It's what humans have done simply because food was less available than it is now. So once you realize that you can find food anywhere, then you start to see that the reason why you're in this state of health is because you've been taking food for granted. The fact that we have too much food made us careless to what we really put in our mouth. So fasting is a way of life. Most of you know the specific health benefits of fasting. How fasting allows you to tap into your extra fat storage for energy, and it helps you stay in shape. That's how your ancestors lived. And it's okay to feel hungry. Just because you're feeling hungry doesn't mean you have to act on it. And especially if you have sweet tooth, if you crave a certain type of foods, or you tend to binge eat or even have food addiction, this is a fundamental mindset shift that must happen internally in order for you to have a healthier relationship with food and in order for you to successfully fast as a way of life. So here's some actionable tips. I want you to start with intermittent fasting. It really is simple. If you haven't heard of this term before, intermittent fasting is when you give certain hours of the day to not eating. Okay, so you're not just completely starving yourself the entire day, but for example, a lot of people fast for 16 hours and give themselves 8-hour eating window. So for example, if you start eating at noon, then you stop eating at 8 p.m. and then you spend the rest of the night fasting up until tomorrow at noon, where you have your first meal of the day again. If that sounds difficult to you, that's totally fine. Don't just get into 16-8 intermittent fasting right away. Go at your own pace. For example, if you tend to snack before bed, make it your habit to cut out the nighttime snacks first. That will actually allow your body to adapt to a longer period of fasting, especially fasting throughout the night. And then you continue to increase the amount of time that you stay in a fasted state. So just work your way up until you get to a range that you feel comfortable. Some people get to a next level and do one meal a day. So it's based on your personal preferences, goals, and what feels healthy to you. So to summarize, fasting is a lifestyle choice. It's a way of living, and realizing that you are not taking food for granted. We are thankful for the opportunity to nourish our body, mind, and soul with the food that was prepared from home, with our loving energy that went into giving us power to live another day in good health. And fasting allows us to feel that gratitude more emphatically. So take small steps to create a larger time gap between each meal if you want this to become a part of your life. So now that you know the power of fasting, let's move on to the third principle of healthy weight mastery, and is to increase your basal metabolic rate. And the best way to do that is by engaging your musculature and keeping your body warm. So physical exercise that obviously raises your core body temperature, and always being in a warm environment, drinking room temperature warm water is not only going to benefit your digestive system, but also to ensure that your core stays warm. And there are spices that when once consumed, it raises your it has a thermogenic effect, meaning it raises the body temperature, and that correlates to a higher rate of metabolism. So warm body and engaging your musculature on a regular basis for your basal metabolic rate is going to be helpful. The next principle is to follow circadian rhythm. Follow circadian rhythm. Simply put, follow the flow of nature. How does nature work? There's a day and there's night. There's a period when we're active and there's a period when we rest. So there's a natural flow to this. So in the morning, during sunrise, or throughout the day when the sun is up, you should see the sun. Sunlight exposure is one of the most powerful things you can do to your body in terms of the health effects and benefits. It secretes and stimulates the production of serotonin, which helps to improve your mood, help you deal with stress better. Exposure to sunlight also activates the metabolism, the metabolic activity. You see, with light, you're starting your day, and with light, there's activity. So your metabolic processes, they are triggered by the light. Okay. Also, the daytime is when you should be eating. Not at night, because at nighttime is when your organs should be at rest, should be recovering. There should be a period of activity, and there's a period of recovery. So eating during the day and scheduling your fasting times during the day would be the ideal structure to ensure that your insulin level stays balanced and healthy. So you would eat during the day and follow that with an exercise, so that you're using the glucose from the body, right? Instead of the glucose just circulating around, elevating the level of blood sugar, we're using that sugar right away, so that the insulin level stays consistent, and also a decent intensity of exercise will tap into the stored fat that you have for energy during the workout. So this will continue the cycle of lipolysis throughout the day. I would avoid exercising at night because it can disturb sleep quality. Sleep is really one of the most important things to prioritize for the nighttime. And so you want to curate your life where anything that disturbs your sleep quality, it needs to be eliminated. So this also includes having a big meal right before going to bed. That's going to impact your sleep quality. Your sleep, the time of sleep, the duration of sleep is when your body repairs, recovers, regenerates. So you need to allow that as much as possible. You're tapping into your self-healing capabilities. And that also includes at nighttime when you're sleeping, when you're not consciously awake. That's also when your self-healing abilities kick in. So get plenty of sleep, get quality sleep. Ideally, you would sleep when there's a highest secretion of growth hormone between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Okay? Between that time period, you should be asleep. I know it's difficult. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But prioritizing that for your nighttime routine is going to pay you dividends in health and in healthy weight. So let's talk about eating habits. That's another key principle in the healthy weight mastery. You want to be as focused on the meal as you can. There should not be any distractions. You should not be reading when you're eating, or watching TV while you're eating, scrolling through your phone while you're eating, because you're not connecting with the nutrition. You're not connecting with the food source. And what that does is you're not consciously aware of how much food you're putting inside you. You're not consciously savoring the experience of a meal. You just hurry up and get over with it, or you mindlessly consume it without really thinking about it. And that poses a problem. Like you don't feel that satisfied afterwards. So that's why this mindful connection with your food helps you have a healthier relationship with food. Because you're fully aware, because you're fully connecting. Think of your food as your intimate partner. I mean, you're bringing this into your body. And so think about how you would treat that person if food was personified as an intimate partner. You want to put love and care into enjoying that experience. If it's something that's going to build you up, if this person is someone that's going to make you a better person, make you a healthier person, why would you not invest your energy and time exclusively to that person who's going to nurture you? To me, healthy eating means eating enough not to feel hungry later. Healthy eating is so important when you are getting in shape. It's not restricting yourself. Healthy eating, you need to be eating enough nutrition. You need to be getting enough nutrients in your body. Okay? We want our body to function and have enough energy to perform metabolism at a high rate. So you need to eat, and you need to eat a good portion of food for each meal. And this requires tuning into your body signals so that you recognize what a satisfied feeling means and how that feels. So this is more of a tuning into your feelings of satiety. That's healthy eating. That's having a healthy relationship with food. And that starts with treating food as if it's an intimate partner who benefits you, who nurtures you, who makes you healthier. And chew slowly. Savor each bite. Chew slowly. There's no rush. You should not feel rushed at meal times. Because eating too quickly, you see, it takes time for the brain to get the signal of feeling full. And if you're eating too quick, there's a delay in that signal. So you're eating way more than you would to feel satisfied. That's a basic fundamental eating habits that you need to be following at each meal. It might be tough at first, but stick to it. And you will realize its power on your healthy relationship with food. Now, what happens when you're eating at work? Let's say you have a work, you usually eat your lunch at work. Well, you need to be in a place that you can focus on food, right? If that means isolating yourself, then so be it. Go for it. Prioritize yourself. This road to healthy relationship with food is so critical. You cannot underestimate it. You cannot ignore it. If you're feeling terrible eating with your coworkers, don't eat with them. Dedicate time to yourself, to nourishment, even at work environment. I know work environment is stressful for a lot of you. And it might be better even altogether to even just skip the lunch or just, opt in for a healthier on-the-go snack, protein bar, or a protein shake, something light, something that you can just take it and still, keep you full with a little bit of healthy snacks later in the afternoon. It depends on your schedule. It depends on your lifestyle, your daily routine. But I'm just giving you the general overview of how you could structure your uh, eating around your work environment so that you don't sabotage your relationship with food and you minimize your stress levels. So do not be working while eating. That is, do not multitask. Do not be distracted. I cannot stress this enough. Please do not work while eating. It's like telling your body to go to battle and have a lunchbox on your right arm as you're feeding yourself. You're getting ready to chop people's head off. I mean, workplace is modern day's battlefield, and those two activities, right, working and eating, they just don't go together. Um, so the best you can do is to take back your mealtime if you do happen to have a lunch at work that you want to dedicate to, or just have something simple, something light on the go. And another quick tip on reducing your stress at workplace. Um, we can't just simply quit our jobs and live off grid tomorrow. I know that's very, very unrealistic, but we can change how we respond to the challenges at work, to respond to the potential stressors at work. So it's about rewiring your response to such emotional and mental challenges. Um, and one thing to start off with is by noticing your environment. How does your environment affect you? So, your work desk, is it cluttered or is it organized? If it's cluttered, it's going to help you mentally to keep your workplace clean and tidy. And are you holding on to grudges? Workplace grudges, grudges from other people in your interpersonal relationships. If you're doing that, it's time to let them go. They're not serving you. They're not serving your health. Um, they're weighing you down in this journey. So those are two quick, tips, or areas that I want you to focus when it comes to reducing the emotional and mental stressors. And the goal here is not perfection, it's to progress. It's to do better than what you did yesterday. And just keep it one day at a time. By tweaking your work habits and prioritizing your health and your eating habits, you'll not only feel better, but this will be the foundation for your sustainable weight management. And let me go ahead and actually reiterate this point about food as your intimate partner, because it's so essential. Food is actually beyond an intimate partner. It's the food is your best friend. Food is your healer, which an intimate partner can achieve those roles as well. A truly, truly intimate partner that can heal you, satisfy you at a mental, emotional, and physical level. I mean, that's what food really is. That's what food does to us. Sometimes you eat this meal that just hits your soul. Um, it nourishes you physically. It makes you energized, and it makes you happy, calm, and at ease. So with that, visualize that person, visualize that intimate partner, um, and imagine whether you would abuse that person. Would you abuse that person If that person is so good to you, would you abuse that person? Would you lose emotional control over that person? Or would you deprive yourself of that person who has infinite potential to heal you in so many ways? And this type of thinking goes against the conventional diet or weight loss industry, where it's all about restriction. It's all about depriving yourself of this food. And a lot of people become paranoid due to this food control by practicing portion control, unrealistic portion control, you know, depriving yourself of certain foods, being so anal about the calories, counting macronutrients. Oh, this food doesn't have enough protein, I can't eat that, or this food has too much carbs, I can't eat that. It's all these rules that you place in your head is making you counterproductive in this journey. Some of my clients, they revealed that they were spying on themselves by just analyzing every single eating choices, food choices. It gets way out of control for some people. And so I'm not saying these strategies are all inherently bad for you. I mean, at some points, these strategies might be reasonable, but these things don't truly teach you about how to heal your own body from within, how to take care of yourself. And most times they just add on to your stress level, which is not sustainable in the long run. These strategies don't teach you how to listen to your body's needs. So all these, questions that are running in your head about, oh, should I eat this, or will I look fat in my dress if I eat too much of this? What should I go for a dinner date this week, or is that too much? Food should never be a thing that you struggle with. Food, I'm going to say it again, food should not become a thing you struggle with. If you visualize food as an intimate partner who loves you, who can heal you, then it's your duty to step up to that role and create harmony with that person, with that entity. Because you're only there to benefit from this person. After all, it's the choice that you make. You choose to interact with this person in a positive, loving way. If you have that intention and you listen to your body and your feelings and see food as a truly beneficial, and not to be abused, not to be emotional over, then you will do very well. But I recognize some people are really, really stressed out over their cravings. But I'm here to tell you that you're actually craving the chemical stressors and not the food itself. Not the food in its raw, natural form. You're craving the chemical, the processed additives in it. So for example, you crave chocolate. But do you ever crave cacao beans? No, you're craving the sugary, milky flavoring that they put in the chocolate. Type below if you ever craved cacao beans over chocolate. the actual finished processed product. If you have cravings for potato chips, are you craving the chips or the actual potatoes? Do you ever crave potatoes? You see where I'm going with this? You're never craving the natural food itself, but the chemical, industrially processed version of it. If you're actually craving natural foods, you should go ahead and enjoy them. Enjoy them responsibly, that is. Don't be upset over craving natural foods. It's a body signaling to you that it needs that food's natural energy. That's how I see it. So, with food cravings, by taking the time to educating yourself on the dangers of the chemical stressors and eliminating it from your food source, that cravings you'll find will naturally go away. And I have some videos coming up that's going to dive deeper into the sugar cravings and how to overcome them with relatively simple steps. So I'm going to beat this point over and over again. Reducing stress is the number one most important thing that you can do to ensure success on this journey. And when I talk about stress, I'm also talking about potential stress that may come from you trying to get in shape and maintaining the weight. You should not obsess over this journey, because obsession only leads you to stress more. Obsession about food, obsession about how many calories to take in, obsession about what type of exercise should I be doing for maximal fat burn. Obsessing over the nitty-gritty is only going to stress you out even more, and it's going to reverse your progress. The more you let it go and relax and be at ease, the more your body will carry out what it's supposed to do. You see, the more you let things go, the more you relax, the more you awaken the self-healing capabilities within. Your body will naturally gravitate towards balance, towards equilibrium, towards harmony. You need to let that part awaken. And your body won't do that if it's under stress. Remember that your body is incredibly intelligent. A lot of things happen inside of you without you consciously controlling it. You don't consciously control the pumping of your heart. You don't consciously control the digestion of your food. Everything, your body does that internally. And it's amazingly efficient and competent at it. So why not just let your body do its thing? Relax. The best thing you can do to relax is to take a deep breath. Belly breathing is what I personally recommend. Deep breath through your belly. Feel your belly expand. Hold it for a couple seconds and exhale. Feel the belly flatten. And visualize the lipolysis happening. After all, the majority of your fat leaves your body as carbon dioxide when you exhale. So whenever you exhale, visualize the fat leaving. Every breath you take and you exhale is an opportunity for you to get rid of the extra body fat. How wonderful is that? So know that your body will heal itself. Know that your body will reestablish the balance within. How you can facilitate is by remaining calm and following the rhythm of the universe. Going back to the circadian rhythm. The rhythm of day and night. The yin and the yang in the Eastern philosophy. So that'll do it for this video. Thank you for tuning in to this fat loss guideline for your healthy weight mastery. The next video is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to go over some specific healing foods that will benefit you on this journey. So look out for that in your inbox tomorrow, and I'll see you then.